Oh, that's better. We're back with another Dune review. It's been a minute since I posted a video. I realized it's been like 4 days, but you know how life is. I had birthday parties to be at, friends to hang out with and whatnot. It was a busy weekend. Missed out on a lot of stuff, but we're here now, and I feel like hitting off with a Dune chapter review is the best way to do it on this lovely Monday evening. You feel me? So we are reviewing chapters 11, 12, 13. Got it. And by far the best chapter was chapter 12. 11 was okay. 13 was decent. Alright, so going on to chapter 11. That was mainly just like a Duke Leto chapter. Throughout the chapter, he like repeats it over and over again, saying they tried to kill my son, and like he was just very enraged by the fact that the Heroicans like actually did try to attempt to take his son's life. Because remember last chapters, the last bunch, we had that evil drone assassinate him, didn't work out. He's good and well. So that's going on through chapter 11, him dealing with that, him giving out orders, him and just kind of seeing Duke Leto with the troops, and like we see an interaction with him and Gurney, them talking. Them trying to set up these plays and whatnot. The main play being like workers on the planet trying to get them to stay, because like a lot of the past spice workers want to leave now because like there's not a lot of good. What's the word I'm looking for? The tools to harvest spice aren't great because the Heroicans have left broken tools or just so-called the best equipment. That's what I'm looking for. They don't have like the best equipment at the moment. So a lot of people want to leave the planet and whatnot. So Duke Leto's like, hey, try to persuade these guys to stay on planet. That was a thing. And then like I thought something that was kind of interesting was the Duke found like what's the term he used? No, that was chapter 12. 12 was pretty long, but that was my favorite chapter for sure. There we go. It's right here. So he recognized a propaganda corpsman. Stopped to give him a message that could be relayed to the men through channels. Those who had brought their women would want to know the women were safe and where they could be found. The others would wish to know that the population here appeared to boast more women than men. The Duke slapped the propaganda man on the arm, a signal that the message had top priority to be put out immediately. Then he continued across the room. Sorry, my sinuses are acting up right now. Kinda sick, not really. It is what it is. Allergies, we're just blaming on allergies. The point is, the idea of them having like propaganda men to like send a message for the people, I thought that was kind of cool and whatnot. And like him like trying to give a message saying, hey, make sure this is like your topmost priority for the propaganda man. That's kind of neat. I kind of like that aspect of this this society, if that makes sense. I think that's the right word. Moving on, chapter 12 was meat and potatoes, and this is kind of like a military meeting, kind of like what's what I'm looking for. There's a word for it, not a group meeting. I wouldn't say this is like a military meeting, just like a meeting of just getting our eggs in one basket, like a planning meeting, a war corp meeting, I don't know. Point is, there was a meeting that took place for chapter 12, and that was kind of like the entirety, like just them making plans and whatnot. When it comes to like spice, dealing with these the equipment they do have planned and how they had to make it work, how fast it will be for them to make the equipment be operational and for them to make profit later on with the equipment they do have, and just stuff like that I found interesting, like just the politics of running a whole planet. And even I thought it was interesting too how they were talking about like we'll call them spice pirates. They will steal spice off road and whatnot, and they know about it, and they were saying, okay, we'll let the spice pirates do their thing and whatnot, but they had to give us like a tax, and we'll give that tax to the royal family and whatnot. So that stuff like that, so they know like it's a big plan. So there's going to be like some stealage or leakage of the spice, but make sure they keep it in line and they get like a certain tax of it. That was pretty interesting. And then him saying too how they wanted to make sure it's legal and they're not going to put it under the pocket. Because they could clearly just pocket it like, hey, listen, if you want to steal our spice, give us a cut of it. But him making it so legal, so like the higher ups still like, hey, listen, they're stealing from you, but here you could take it here. We're not going to do anything on the tip with that. I thought that was pretty interesting as well. And then we also learned too that the Hirokins have been seeing like a lot of money, and that being like 10 billion where the currency is. So that's pretty interesting as well. So Duke Loader even made a point saying, hey, listen, the Hirokins make like 10 billion a year off of this planet. So them just, giving us this planet Isles is going to be the plan. Like, they want this planet back. They're making so much money off this planet while they just hand it back over to us just because the royal family deemed it so. So even more reasons to why the Hirokins kind of want this planet back is because the amount of money they were making. And then there was something else too. Where's chapter 12? There it is. It was... The point is, the Duke did something that Paul didn't like. And it was like, yes, it was like a small victory of him, like, stripping these people of their titles and whatnot. Or I think they were like Hirokin workers and whatnot. And like he wanted their families to be, let me see. We take legal position that they stay under the false allegiance. Confiscate their property, take everything, turn out their families, strip them, and make sure the crown gets 10%. And must be entirely legal. Durfin smiled. Everyone else liked it, but Paul, he thought it was kind of wrong. He's saying like, them doing such an action will just make them want to fight harder. And then just, make it hard for them to surrender. Make those guys want to surrender. And he said like this small victory now could lead to their defeat later because like them just harboring more resentment towards the House Atreides. And then throughout the chapter is Paul thinking like how he's not like how his father's operating now, like how everything's moving right now. It kind of seems like they are going to lose right now. Like Paul's thinking back, it's like we can actually lose right now with how we're moving currently. So I think that's pretty interesting as well. Then Duncan Idaho came in for the first time. We got to see him. He then introduced Stilgar. He's like a freeman leader of his clan and whatnot. And we learn more about these Christ knives, or these let's just call them the sandworm's teeth that turns into blades, and the honor of it and having one, and how like not every person should be able to see this and whatnot, and it's out of the customs of it. What else? I'm sorry, I'm blanking right now. I'm kind of not tired, but I'm a bit out of it. I don't know what's going on. A little rant, but like. I had like the stuffies for like the last 2 days or whatnot. I thought it was gone. Now I got this weird cough too. Like my nose is congested. It's not great. I'm not feeling 110%, and I just like that. And I apologize in advance. So sorry if I'm not talking how I want to. It's just like my nose and everything. It ain't it. Point being, we get introduced to these two new characters face to face. Well, we knew who Duncan was, but we get introduced to Stilgar. And then how the Duke is trying to get the Freemen to be a part of him. Like he wants Duncan's kind of like this ambassador to like get more Freemen to be a part of their house to help defend House Atreides. Because again, they even mentioned in the chapter 2 like they don't know the true numbers of the Freemen. Like Duncan Idaho was with he said like probably like 10,000 Freemen, like this little section. There's probably even more groups out there and whatnot that they can rally behind or get to rally with them. So that's cool. And then the next chapter was Howard Thurfer talking about how he thinks Jessica could be... What's I'm looking for? I'm sorry. Jessica could be... Betray is not the word. Not leak either. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm blinking right now. Traitor? I think the word is traitor. She could be the traitor because like they got a message. He found like a spy, Hirokin spy, or whatever. he found like a message on the Heroic spy, and that message said something along the lines of like, this betrayal will hurt Duke Leto would not or whatnot. So how it's like, oh, this could be Jessica, and like Leto doesn't want to believe that because like that's his woman right there, that's his short. He doesn't think she could betray him. But to ease Howard's, angst, he's like, hey, do what you think is necessary to make sure you keep her in line if you think she is a traitor, like do what the necessary precautions to make sure nothing bad happens if she is, the traitor. That happens, and the Duke ends the chapter by look at the sunset. That's pretty cool. Overall, these last 3 chapters, 11, 12, 13, pretty good chapters. 12 being the best because now we're starting to see like Paul starting to question like the decisions his father's making and like how his decisions could lead to their downfall. Then also, I think in one of these chapters too, we learn like the people of Arrakis thought what Leto, the people of Arrakis were calling Duke the Messiah. They think he's Messiah because he's a daughter of a BG, Bien Gisette. I'm gonna figure out how to say that name eventually. So there's a video that I wanted Duke Leto to watch, but the Duke said he will watch it later or whatnot. There was another key point of information too. Oh, when it came to the ending of the meeting of chapter 12, there's like these bases throughout the planet that the Freemen hold dear. Like there's this scientist named Chinese. He's an Imperial servant. There's these different bases throughout the planet, and like the Leto wants to use those bases for materials to like help fix up equipment. But Howard and Paul are saying like these are kind of secret to the Freemen, so us doing that will probably like cause a strife between us. So we probably shouldn't do it. Then Duke is like, all right, just do it gently or do it in a way so it's not cause much strife between us because those materials are important. We kind of need them right now. So that was important. That's how the meeting ended, and that's when Paul was making his observations, saying how not only did the meeting end in an argument kind of or disagreement, but again like the confusion in the meeting and whatnot, the butting of heads almost, and just the way his father's moving again. He's thinking there's going to be like a downfall, like we could actually lose this engagement between the Iraqis the way we were moving. So yeah, overall, cool 3 chapters. Sorry for the nasal congestions, whatever. That should be gone for next video. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, overall, pretty good bunch. I liked it. I like reading this book. We're making some good heatway. If you can see, we're like a quarter of the way through. That's not bad. We're making good progress. So yeah, that's it for the review. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Like, subscribe, all that great stuff, and y'all be A-OK on this lovely Monday evening. All right.